Hello there, John Coleman here. Just wanting to bring you some information on this new first home scheme for first time buyers. What does it actually mean and how does it actually work? Okay, well, as above, it is aimed at first time buyers. The purpose of it is to cover off the shortfall between what they qualify for as a mortgage, the deposit, and the cost price of the property. As we all know, property prices are very, very high currently, and they're just tantalizingly out of the reach of a number of people based on what the banks are prepared to lend them. So this scheme has been created to help bridge that gap. It is obviously, like everything else, there's terms and conditions. It's for first-time buyers or an eligible home buyer. Now, an eligible home buyer is someone who may have been separated or divorced and no longer have any interest in the property they may have owned previously. You will need to borrow the maximum amount available to you, i.e. up to 3.5 times your income. You cannot be getting any more than that, so you can't be getting an exception where the banks may lend you up to 4 or 4.5 times your income. So it is only 3.5 times, but you have to borrow the full amount. You will, before applying for it, you will need to have an approval from a bank, a bank who's actually involved in the scheme. That would be currently Permanent TSB, AIB, Haven, and Bank of Ireland. You will need to have 10% of the deposit available if a first-time buyer, or 20% if an eligible home buyer. So then this is really, really important. Well, it's for new properties only, or apartments in the private development in the Republic of Ireland. You cannot be buying a second-hand property and qualify for this scheme. It has to be new. So what level of funding can you receive? Well, actually up to 30% of the cost price, only 20% if you're using the Help to Buy. The percentage of ownership that you give away, it's equivalent to the amount being given, i.e. so if the purchase price is $450 and you're getting $45,000, in this example, first home scheme will own 10% of the property. Very important to note is that as time goes by, you could end up paying for that back and end up with 100% ownership. So that's very, very important to note because we all want to own our own property fully outright. This scheme is just designed to help you make it happen in the first instance. So the maximum price of property, well, that is determined by where you're purchasing and the type of property you're buying. A house or an apartment, there are different amounts for, believe it or not, an apartment will qualify for more, but you will need to check wherever you're looking to buy to get the upper ceilings. From what I've seen in Dublin, is obviously a little bit greater than elsewhere, but I've seen 500 as being the upper limit, but I've also seen 450 as well. So again, this is something you will need to check. So where do you get that information? For more information and frequently asked questions on the first home scheme, go to it's there, firsthomscheme.ie. For more information on how this works within the mortgage process, feel free to contact me on my email below there. Ultimately, you will need to come to someone like me first. Then with the approval, you will go to First Home Scheme. They will give you what they call a letter of eligibility. When you find a home, then in effect you will use that. Will give that to the bank. They will issue a loan offer, and then you will give this loan offer to the first home scheme, who then, in conjunction with your solicitor, will send them the funds. So that's it for the moment. Hopefully that has given you some insight as to this new scheme, and if it's something that you feel will help you, feel free to reach out to me, and I will answer any further questions that you may have. Thank you for listening.
I want you to get together.